Thinking about selling your home but not sure where to start? Don't waste your time and effort on staging every single room in your house. I'm going to share with you the 4 most important rooms to stage so that you can get your house sold quickly. Let's jump right in. Hey there, home sellers. My name is Kasia. Welcome back to the Creative Home Staging Show. And today we are talking about the 4 most important rooms to stage. Now, there's a couple other rooms, but I really want to focus on these rooms because if you are a home seller and you're selling your house very soon, or you just want to know where you need to spend your time on, this is the video for you because you want to move and sell it quickly and move into your next house, okay? And as a homeowner, I too struggled with not knowing where to start. There's a laundry list, like I said, that just keeps getting longer and longer every day that you're just like, let me just focus on the things that matter the most, right? And there's also the pressure of selling quickly. And with the real estate market now in 2025, things have slowed down for home sellers. And it's just a little bit different from what it was even a year ago. So this is the time to start thinking and making good decisions, focusing on what matters. And that's what I want to help you with in this episode. So let's first quickly go over what is home staging, because you're probably wondering, well, it's just throwing a few fancy pillows around, right? No. Okay, let me get down to the nitty gritty. The most important thing to understand about home staging is that we are decorating to sell, not decorating to live. It looks different with the way that you live in it and the way you're going to be selling your house, okay? So we're trying to appeal to the most amount of buyers when you're staging your house. We're also going to show off the best features of the home. Maybe there's a really nice fireplace that you've kind of covered up and put some furniture in front of. Or maybe there's a beautiful view out of your living room out into the backyard and it's not looking the greatest right now. That's when we're going to show off all those features of your home and wow those buyers. Home staging is also decluttering, rearranging furniture, accessorizing, kind of completing the whole picture when it comes time to sell your house. And just think about it this way, this is only temporary. It really is. So staging your house is a temporary thing. It's not going to last forever. You can get all your stuff back when you move into your next house, okay? So keep that in mind. All right, so let me share with you those 4 most important rooms. And according to the National Association of Realtors, they did a survey back in 2023 and they talked to buyers and they wanted to know, well, which rooms are the most important rooms for you to see, right? And stage so that they can imagine themselves living in it, right? The number 1 room is the living room. Are you surprised? That room is the most important room because not only do you have to fit you or your family in there, you want to have friends, guests, whoever come over, and you want to make them feel inviting. Well, can you fit them in this living room? You know, maybe you're just a single person, you don't need that big of a space, but you want to have at least a place to put a couch and a chair and things like that, right? So the living room is the most important room because it's not only for you, but your friends and family. The next room is the primary bedroom. Yeah, buyers want to see if it's maybe just a couple, right? Maybe they don't have kids yet, but they want to see the biggest bedroom, right? And they want to imagine themselves, you know, is this their oasis? Is this their, think hotel, spa, that this is where they get away, where they rest after a long day at work. You want to be able to just fall asleep and just take away the worries, right? I know I'm kind of a little overdoing it, but with a primary bedroom, they want to be able to see, well, I have a dresser, I have a king-sized bed, can it fit in here, you know? So that's the second most important room to buyers. The next room is the kitchen, and this one, again, is kind of a given because if you're going to be cooking, maybe you don't cook, or maybe you do, and you want to see, well, I need some counter space. I need to be able to feed my family, or maybe it's just you and your spouse. You want to be able to see, well, you know, is there a big enough refrigerator, kitchen, stove, you know, that kind of a thing. What is it that you need in the space and show off that space? That kitchen should be nice and bright and airy and still be able to move around and get your cooking done that you want. And finally, the 4th most important room to buyers is the dining room, or eat in kitchen. Maybe some of you don't have a formal dining room, and that's perfectly fine, but you have a place where you have a table and some chairs where you can sit down, whether it's just you and your spouse, maybe by yourself, or maybe it's your family, but you need to have some dining space so that everyone can sit and eat together. Now, I know I'm probably, dating myself. What? You eat together as a family? Yes, we do actually, and still do. Even 2025, we still have meals together. Even if it's just dinner, breakfast may be kind of on the go, lunch, not, if it's during the school year, obviously not then, but definitely during dinner time, we all sit together and have dinner together. So the dining area needs to show off the space, needs to be able to look presentable like it is as a dining room or eat in kitchen. So were you surprised by those 3 rooms, or 4 rooms? Sorry. I didn't mention, a bathroom or the kids' room. Well, yeah, but we don't want to mess those up. We don't want to forget about those as well. Those are just not as important. So you parents who are going, oh my God, my teenager's room looks horrible. I don't even want to think about what that is. But what I can do that one, it's not as important as the 4 other rooms, okay? You still want to make an effort in those rooms. You still want to, not leave it all, cluttered up with things, take out, if you have to, if you have a teenager and they're just not willing to help you out, you just start chucking things in a box. Yes, I did say that. You know what? If they're not willing to help, this is tough love, I know. And some parents are going to go, oh, no, or yeah, buddy, give me the box. Let's start putting things in there, because you may ask them to help you out, and hopefully they do, but sometimes it's just not going to work out as much as you want to do, right? So that's where you just start packing up boxes, putting things away, and they're going to find it on the other end, right? Yeah. And also, if you have the yard and the bathroom were on the list on the survey that they did. So after the 4 primary ones, they then followed with the yard being number 5, which is important. That curb appeal is really important. The bathroom, the kids' room, and any guest rooms if you do have any. All right, so let me show you some before and after pictures of the living room. Okay, so this one is a room I staged of a living room. As you can tell, there's just clutter basically, and kind of like, yeah, it's the living room, but you really can't see. You can tell kind of there's a fireplace back there, but when we staged it, we ended up showing off. Let me move myself around here. Oh, come on. Okay, that now this space is a living room. We did change the couch out because the homeowner had to move it to her new home that she was moving into. So she was in a hurry to get things out and moving around. So we were trying to get this house sold quickly. But this one, basically now you can see you can access the fireplace. You can see, oh, there's a nice cabinet over there. So definitely take a look at your living room and how it can be arranged. And I have another one that I will show you in the next slide, just to give you a different perspective on, living room. So for this one basically, it's a nice big living room, but this couch kind of steals the show and kind of blocks the view. When I walked in and I'm like, this nice arch here, you don't really see, you just see this big white blob and you're like, what do I do right here? So what we did was rearranged it and kind of opened it up. You see that? So look, this couch now went on this wall. We took out this TV, we put the chairs, we kind of just shifted everything over by about 90. Yeah, 90. Trying to do public math here. But look, so, and now I can see you walking in, you see, oh, there's a fireplace there, so now that's all we did was just rearrange things in this living room, just turn things around, right? Maybe you're used to doing things your way and having the couch facing this way because you had the TV. Well, now we took the TV out and now it's a seating area. The TV does not have to be in the living room. It can be in the bonus room. So it does not have to be in the living room when you're staging it. Okay, so keep that in mind too as a home seller. All right, so primary bedroom. Yes, the master bedroom. So this is one example of kind of a typical master bedroom. When you walk in, like, yeah, the bed's not really made. There's just some laundry piles here and there. There's some things that you're kind of like, well, okay, we just got to kind of clean things up a bit. And so we did. But we also changed out a few things. And so we changed out the bedding, cleaned it all up, making it more, like I said, an oasis, a spa, so that you can imagine yourselves in this bedroom and your primary bedroom, okay? And the kitchen. So this is the kitchen. I had it also with the eat-in area. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff on these counters. I know when we're busy cooking and getting everybody fed and things like that, things just kind of just end up on the counters and just taking up space. So again, we're decluttering part of the staging part. Look, now this kitchen looks open. Looks like, wow, I got plenty of counter space in here. There's, you can see the fridge. I didn't have it in this picture, but there was just a lot of stuff all over here. But now it's the eat-in kitchen area is all cleaned up. It's all set, and you can see and imagine yourselves living in this space and in this kitchen and using it, right? All right, the dining room. If you've seen my videos, you've seen this dining room. This is one of my favorite transformations. But basically, there's a lot of things going on here. Lots of bookcases and books. You're like, this is a dining room? Yes, yes it is. And so let me show you what it can look like. If I move myself around, this is what it ended up being when we got done staging it. So it actually looks like a dining room table. This is the same table and chairs that were right here. This is the same credenza that's right here. We actually just brought this plant and brought in some artwork, and there's plenty of space for whether you have your large family or maybe you're having, Sunday dinners or Sunday brunch at your house, whatever it is. And now you have plenty of space to show off and use that dining room, okay? All right, so what are some additional rooms? If I can move myself over to stage. We talked about yard, right? So definitely take care of the curb appeal, make sure the grass is cut, the bushes are trimmed, everything's taken care of. But then the bathroom is another main eyesore that sometimes will come up and you're going, I've got a lot of products like this one. There's a lot of things on the counter. There's cords everywhere. There's just stuff that you use, right? Well, when it comes to staging, we don't want to show all that stuff off, right? We want to show off the counters. We want to show off how big the space is in here, okay? So that's where you're going to put all that stuff, basically go through it and decide what you really need and throw out the extra stuff, throw out the expired things, put it nice and neat in baskets or something underneath in the cabinets, okay? So the bathroom, definitely take a look at that to stage. That's a quick, easy one. Easier, should be easier. Now, sometimes it may not be for some of you, but for some of you, it can be just as simple as taking things out, putting things underneath in the cabinet. The child's bedroom is another one. Now this one, like I said, some of you may have teenagers or little kids and they're like, oh my gosh, their room just has too much stuff in it. Yep. Well, in this case, we basically had a lot of things going on in here, clutter, and this bed was kind of blocking the entrance again, just kind of a thing to kind of consider. So what we did is we moved the bed. We moved it to the opposite side of the wall. Now look, now it looks all open in here to walk straight into that bedroom. Come in, here's the dresser. We have a nightstand. There's a bookcase over here. So all these things that were in here still fit. We just arranged it differently, okay? And now it looks more welcoming, more open in the bedroom, okay? So home staging is key to getting your house sold quickly. Those are the four most important rooms that I talked about. And if you need more staging help, I do have a free guide called How to Start Staging Your House Now. I will leave it in the link in the show notes so you can take a look at that. But it talks about top home improvements that you can do. And you're probably wondering, well, what are those home improvements? They're free in the sky. You just sign up for my email list and you'll get that checklist, that list quickly, okay? So there's home improvements that you can do, how to influence buyers, 10 home staging tips to get you started so that you can get your house ready to sell. In the end, basically, home staging is not meant to be an offensive type of thing. I don't want to offend you when I'm staging somebody's house. Your decorative choices are your choices, but when it comes time to staging, it's not going to have your personality flair or anything like that, okay? As a home stager, I am trying to suggest things that are going to help you sell your house faster. Some of them you may not like, and that's okay. You may not agree to do all of them. That's okay. But there will be ones that I will foot stomp and say, if I am, your home stager, I'll say, look, this will really help you sell your house faster. Please consider doing this first, okay? We are looking out for your best interest, whether it's the real estate agent or the home stager who tells you, if you paint that wall a different color, that will get your house sold faster. People don't want to do work anymore to get into a house. There are not that many. There are still some out there, but there are not that many out there, okay? We know what helps sell a house. That's why we make these recommendations to make these changes and get your house sold, okay? And again, it's only temporary. If I remove your favorite chair, I'm sorry. I am so sorry. But yes, sometimes those have to go, okay? And again, it's only temporary. You will get that chair back when you move to your next house, okay? But some of the things, yeah, your favorite, maybe it's a kid's favorite toys or whatever. There may be one or two that we leave behind, but the rest needs to go into the next house, and you go into a box, go into the garage, get packed up or donated or sold if it's not going with you. Okay, so hopefully that gave you a great way to focus on those 4 rooms that I just talked about: the living room, the primary bedroom, the kitchen, and the dining room. Focus your attention on those 4 areas. If you need to paint a room, if you need to add something, maybe you need to add artwork, or maybe you need to take away a few things, remove some furniture. Focus on those 4 rooms first, okay? Get those done, and then work on the other rooms as time and money allows you to, okay? So hopefully this gives you some ideas on where to work on first, what you can do. I give you some before and after pictures, ideas, just to give you some inspiration, because sometimes you just need that inspiration, or maybe you just need someone like me to tell you, hey, you need to take this out or remove this. I do offer online home staging consultations, so take a look at these tips, and if you do need some help, please let me know. I'd love to help you out. I hope you guys have a fantastic week, and we'll talk to you later. Bye!